Okay. Aloha and good morning, everyone, and welcome to Way of the Manifestor with John Martin. Oh, yeah, I don't even need my headsets right now. Yeah, just flowing along. The Way of the Manifestor lecture will be second only in stupidity to my Way of the Reflector lecture. I mean, guys, really, I'm an experiential teacher. I only teach what I can actually have tested and then been able to verify with my own body. It's just my trip, guys. And, the manifester is either, like over on the left here, it's either living in this frequency of peace or it is one pissed off, angry thing, dude. There really is this on-off thing. And, legitimately, unlike, obviously hundreds, if not thousands of, projectors and generators, I'm drawing off maybe a dozen manifestors that I've known and only 5 of them maybe for more than 5 years. So it's not like I have the same data, and I've tried. I've hit them with a stick. I've left them alone. I don't care, guys. Anyone that knows me knows I don't care. There is no rule that applies to me. I just see what they I'll hit them just to see what happens sometimes. But that they are definitely very, very different creatures. They are, and they are very isolated. They feel very alone. I get that it could be a scary trip, and I also get it can be a very confusing trip that we'll get into in more detail. But you guys got to remember, these guys ran the planet for the last 70,000 years, and then someone like me comes along, it's a little sprout in the field. I'd be pissed off too, man. So, I also get why manifestors wouldn't necessarily be attracted. I can see where you wouldn't want a projector that actually wasn't going to back down in your life. I can see that, because it's like, no, I do see, and I do pick up aurically, just a lot more than any other type. It's just the only thing we are here to do. So, but I just can't get to these slippery little bastards the same way, dude. And they lie and they trick me. And having said that, I have many, well, not many. I have some that are dear friends and still good friends after many years. It's not like, no, I don't not make fun of anyone here. People should know that by now. But this whole like peace or angry thing, man, and understanding that you're not really part of the genetic program in terms of, your responsibility to run the world anymore. It must be quite a trip. Kind of like the generator being afraid that the projector's trying to enslave it. The manifestor's like, wait, this is I'm supposed to be in charge of this planet. Well, yeah. Sorry, check your inbox. There's a memo. So guys, where do we start every week? Aura. Aura, guys. You are flying through space in a bubble that gives you the illusion that you're separate from all the other bubbles, and there's about 6 feet of rope. You can either be the little dot sitting in the middle of your bubble and enjoying your bubble and being your bubble, or you can bang your head against the side of the wall like it's banging your head into a prison cell. You can push it. What I love is there's just enough rope to hang yourself. Really, guys, there's just enough rope to hang yourselves, and to really get that this is just so choiceless, and especially today talking about the manifestor, how no one's going to get in there, and you're not coming out of there. You're self-contained and self-empowered in a very different way than many of the other types. And this lecture today is it's not really for you, for the manifestors, unless you actually give a shit of whether anybody else in your life likes you. and if you do, then some of these techniques may help. They may not. That we are dealing with these 4 different aura types, and like I've shared is that this aura gets created from this thing called a magnetic monopole that's in the middle of the sternum. It holds you together in this bubble of illusion that you're separate from all the other bubbles. It's not your life, guys. It's the life, and you're not in control of it. And whatever direction, even if you could drive, you'd be driving the wrong direction. So, this really is sit down and enjoy the ride. Now, the projector and generator, right from the monopole level, have a very unique, connection. They're similar. They're as different as night and day, but there is a similarity in the way the entire entity gets created, and so is with the manifestor and reflector. Mm-hmm. Yeah. I know that's a lecture for a different day. When I see you start going, see, people think I don't know humanism. I know, I just don't tell you guys too much. But today we're really going to be looking at it's like, okay, what is it? Okay, first of all, what is manifestation? What is initiation? What is informing? All of these things, and even within human design. I mean, these words get thrown around, and especially if you move out of this world and into the woo-woo world, everyone's trying to manifest, and even some other teachers in human design have told me, you're trying to initiate or you're trying to manifest. And I'm like, okay, well, we need to send them a memo that says a projector doesn't have the density of aura to move the Maya. We don't. Neither does a generator. Neither does a reflector. I mean, the reflector can edge it a bit, but they're not pushing it, in my experience. So even those words you're trying to initiate, in your mind, yeah, you can fuck anything up, of course, but even that, something so simple like that the manifestation in a human design sense means that you are actually pushing the program of energy, and the reality is it's pushing you. So think about this. What we have is this closed repelling aura. It's only about 9% of the population. And the thing, what a manifestor will have is no sacral. Okay, there's no sacral defined, but one of the other three motors will make it directly to the throat. And I want you to really think about that, guys. It's a motor. A motor is something that has energy that can say it can do something. Okay? The rest of us don't have that. Okay, you get it? We don't have that, and we don't have the density to actually move the pattern of energy on the planet. We just don't have it. So, if you run across these people that say that you're trying to initiate and manifest, you can say, well, no, I'm fucking shit up in my mind maybe, but I won't be manifesting anything. And then the woo-woo community, they're all trying to manifest, and what I love to say to these guys is, okay, if you're manifesting a car or a house and all these things they say they're manifesting, I was like, let me see one blade of grass. Go ahead, manifest it, dude. It really, do you guys live with this much? This is the arrogance of the human mind and what it believes its capacity to do. It's actually it's funny. Yeah, go ahead.
I think you said motor directly to the throat, and I remember a confusion, and I just want to ask you: it's from a motor
to the throat?
To the throat. So it can, for example, from the root, it has to go through another center or two to get to the throat. Is that sorry?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Oh. I was intentionally avoiding this so that I could avoid confusing people. Okay. I actually even talked with another teacher. I know you can't cut it out of this. But what's funny is I actually talked to another teacher about that yesterday, about whether or not I should even try to explain that.
Okay.
But since the cat is out of the bag, it's a motor getting to the throat, yes. And it does not have to be directly to the throat. And if I said it that way, I just misstated it. The motor gets to the throat. So what's actually speaking is a motor, which means a motor is something that can say, yes, I have the fucking energy to do this. But it is only the initiating spark. It is only the beginning. Most of these people live like manifesting generators. They do. And most of them end up being sex addicts, just like projectors. I mean, it's just open sacral. I mean, all the stuff that you get with the open sacral, you get, and the confusion here is they can just go and do shit. So, you know, you kind of get two flavors, you know, when they show up here. You know, they show up to human design. First of all, manifestors rarely would even come or ask for help. I mean, it's just not in their fucking nature. Okay. And I was talking with my friend yesterday. I was she's like, well, yeah, exactly how many manifestors have you guided? I was like, well, the one thing they do have is that they have life force I can grab a hold of, and I can at least get a handle on what is them and what's not them. But, you know, other than pointing them back to themselves and helping them reclaim their power, there's not a lot that the projector has to offer the manifestor in that term. Now, except friendship. You know, like I said, I do have a few good manifestor friends, but, you know, they're usually doing their own trip. So you have this, you know, this steamroller manifestor. I mean, it's oblivious to it. It's like, it's always going, why are they mad at me? You know, it's like an MG just like, you know, running around, you know, the thing. Or what's much more common is just this beaten down manifestor that, you know, has been, you know, since birth, people have tried to control them because their aura is, you know, makes us all suspicious, and they do just want to get up and go. And so that makes us nervous because somehow at some unconscious level, you know, again, just like a lot of this stuff that I see happening at these unconscious levels where types don't like types for very strange reasons, you know, they really get, they get like kind of stripped of their power early because we unconsciously don't trust them. And so the humanity beats them down, and that's what you're usually doing. You know, I mean, and then I meet these incredible beings that are just having their lives, and it's like, I'm not going to. You don't want to know about human design? Just keep living your life. I mean, it's working. Just get out of here. You know. The manifestors really are designed to be unstoppable force to move the Maya. I mean, think about this, guys. The Maya, you know, the goddess of illusion, not Maya that's in class, but the big Maya, as in human design is the mechanics of the Maya. You know, they don't need others to move them. They are self-motivated. They initiate their own movement, and people think that they can initiate what they want to initiate. It has nothing to do with that, guys. You're going to see it in a second. And I'm giggling about one of my friends on Kauai. Like, you know, as soon as the rest of his family found out he was a manifestor, they're all like looking at him like he's supposed to do something. like that was how it was going to work now. Like, okay. and he was already in his own trip, doing his own thing, and way level of awareness that you don't meet with many humans. And he's just giggling. He's just, I don't know what he goes. I can feel that they want me to do something, but it's like, you know, whatever. You know, until it's his time to do it, that's not what happens. So manifestation happens when the manifestor is not thinking. It's physical. It is not mental, guys. It's not. It is a physical movement of energy in the Maya. When a manifestor discovers, because it's discovering, dude. It's like, oh, you know, I like to say it's almost like the kid on the skateboard coming down the driveway. There's people in the way going, hey, get out of the way, get out of the way. It's like, this is like, I can't stop this train that's coming. You know, I'm it looks like I'm driving and I'm not. This was what must happen. And you think about this again, what I was just explaining is the motor gets to the throat. There is an energy that gets expression that is not sacral. So, you know, again, most of them look like manifesting generators, you know, or they look like completely beaten down, not self projectors, or actually some of them look like better projectors than the projectors in general. Yeah, I mean, a lot of they just wait to be invited, you know. But I mean, that's not really your power, and that's not going to bring you peace. And we're going to really look at this anger thing, because it's just like bitterness for me. When the bitterness comes up, it's like, ah, shit, I stepped in it again, and yeah, or it's whatever. So that anger is not bad. That like anger is very much part of the awakening of the manifestor. It's like to really come to grips with how fucking angry you are. Most people would say that's a negative thing, and I'm saying no, it's not. I mean, and then the informing thing is just like, I mean, like I said, it's like the kid on the skateboard. It's like, dude, the skateboard is coming down the driveway. I'm not in control because I can't skate. I'm not a good enough skater to stop this whole thing. And it's just gonna, you guys better get out of the way. I'm gonna run over you. I mean, that's literally what informing is. And I want you to think of it more as a political strategy than an energetic strategy, like the other types, where I have to really be invited or be in reaction to like my environmental stuff, or responding, or like the reflector needs to be initiated. It's like, no, that's not what happens. It's like you are the initiating force, and because that's going to make ripples, you need to let people know. Impact is the result of a manifestor's energy moving the Maya. Guys, the manifestor is never not impacting. It's never not impacting. It's always impacting. But what does it impact? It's very specific to that design, just like all designs. It's very specific. It's not like they get to impact everything they think they want to, which I've seen many a manifestor try and do. And unfortunately, they can push the water. And so it sort of looks like it works until it doesn't. I mean, and I really want you to think of point of impact. If you're a manifestor, it's like point of impact. Is it clean, or is it just all this sloppy vomit that's coming out of you? It's like there's a place where you can actually, like a good punch or a good kick to a ball, versus like if any of you have played like any sport where you hit a ball, that there's or even golf or whatever, there's the effortless, and things go flying, and it is not your fucking business what happens after that. That was it, and look, just because you inform people what's going to happen, it doesn't mean they're going to like it. I like to go to the extremes. I had one manifestor friend back in the islands that for like 6 months, they were telling me everything was fine, but I was like, no, it's not. It's all fucked up. And somehow they thought they were doing me a favor by not being honest with me, and not just going, look, it's not correct. Which is funny because I taught them that. And as soon as they did, I'm not saying I liked it, but it was like, oh, fuck, thank God. It was like, somehow it was weird. It was the weirdest. That may just be me, but that's what happened. Mm-hmm. And then on the other side, I have some Fruit Loop ask me for a bunch of stuff. It just takes me a while to get around to it. And, I email them and they come back with this like, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, Jesus fucking Christ, you guys. Okay. So they didn't want it. Okay, that's fine. That would have been an easier thing. Mm-hmm. But in both cases, I didn't like what they told me. They informed me. But boom. I mean, it only took just a second or two to just go, okay, fine, dude. It's like, dude, I'm not trying to get into anybody's trip. And that's why these guys are confusing. And we get further down, I'll explain this more, but it is, I've asked them, okay, how do you want to be? How does it work for you? And they lie. Call me, email me, okay. Yeah, but not really. It's okay, just ask me a question. No, it's not actually. I mean, both on an energetic level and on what I've watched happen when I just said, okay, let's just see. Poof, and I'll throw my arrow in there and it just come fly. And it's like a barrage of bullets comes flying back. It's like, shit, man, that's not even going to work, sort of. Um, you know, in the Manifestor, dude, it's just peace, guys. I mean, look, you're not here to do things. You're not here to make things happen, dude. I mean, there is this tuning to the program that, you know, maybe there's some people that are so deep in the whole program, that maybe they could begin to illustrate this for you better than I can, but I'm just going to share what I see here is that it's almost as if the Manifestor is this agent of the program, in the sense that, like, I'm not saying every time the program changes, the Manifestor, but when the right sequence of numbers lines up, that Manifestor needs to move that direction. I mean, that's what it, from a projector's view, that's what it looks like. Now, I've talked to people that are really that really look at that, and they may not say it exactly like that, but they describe a similar sense of it must happen. It's like it's in, there's a word we like to use, it's just indicated. It's like, okay, it's almost like a burden. It's like, oh fuck, I have to be like Ra. Like, I mean, do you think he really wanted to be the messenger? I mean, the poor dude. You know, I mean, you know, here's this information to save the world. Now you need to go tell her. Oh shit, man! I just want to see you. You know, I just want to sit on a hill like a daisy. That's, I think, one of his earliest lectures on Manifestors. So it is cute that you have him sitting here. But if I forgot that, I don't know. You probably hadn't even heard that lecture. It's an old one. I really did. I resisted. I had the 4 or 5 supposed best things on the Manifestor, the manifesto on my desk yesterday. And dude, my body just, it's not my way, dude. It's like, I see how this is working, then I report. I'm a projector, you know. Unfortunately, it's dangerously close to the code, which always pisses me off. like Randy, I'm still looking for something that's really wrong. You know, I mean, I found a few quirks here and there, but it's pretty watertight. And you know, peace is relative, and resistance is relative. I mean, if your aura is always pushing, I mean, you got to get comfortable with that. You got to be comfortable being by yourself. You got to be comfortable knowing that you're never, just like the projector, dude. You're not going to be part of the fuzzy, wuzzy, buzzy gang. It's just not your trip. I don't really see these I mean, I see them wanting to be social. I've seen many want to be social, but they're truly not. I mean, there is a barrier, you know, and it's your trip, you know, to relax into it and go, okay, this is my trip. Just like the projector. It's like, yeah. I mean, the only difference is I step into traffic, I get hit. You step into traffic, you hit people. I mean, there is a difference. The best fight I ever had with a Manifestor was like, you're being pushy. You know, no, they said, you're being pokey. And I was like, well, you're being pushy. No, I don't need anger management. You need to quit pissing me off. Guys, anger is a real gift for the Manifestor. To bring it in, to own it, to take it, is like, go, okay, I am pissed, okay? But to bring it home, guys, bring it home. It's no one else's fault. You know, it's your trip, man. I mean, if you're angry, it's because you've let people fucking control you. And I remember another Manifestor friend that, I mean, God, I just saw him drug around by his girlfriend. And I also want to acknowledge that, you know, being a Manifestor woman, I mean, that's a whole nother trip. That's a whole nother societal level of trip that, wow, you know, that, I mean, that's a real warrior role there. So, I mean, I embrace that whole, you know, Amazonian warrior king, whatever female thing that you can get around, because it's like, wow. But it's the only reason you're angry is because people are messing with your trip. That's why you're angry, you know. I mean, people are messing. They're in your way. Get out of my fucking way. Like I said, they may not like the informing, but trust me, oh my God, is it better than not being told? And this is,
picture.
Yeah, no. You need to quit pissing me off. Yeah. We may have to use this one somewhere else. Yeah. So, you guys, you're not here to be controlled at any level. You're really not, man. I mean, no one's here to be controlled at any level, but I mean, even people coming towards you. And again, guys, I've experimented with this. I mean, it's kind of like one of those things where you can't really, I haven't been able to get a tight read on it. So I'm just, it's just like, I leave them alone, you leave me alone, everything's cool, man. That, manifestors have their own waiting to do. That even the word manifest or to manifest or whatever, people may think that entitles them to some privilege that you don't have or something, and it's quite the opposite. It's actually, I see it as quite a responsibility. I mean, and a dilemma, but that, if you're waiting if you're actually living this and you're not pushing life, which most will do, like manifesting generators, I mean, it's just how they'll live. I mean, or they'll live like projectors and they'll wait to be invited. But I mean, if you're really in your own body process and you understand, okay, this is me and this is not me, and it, especially emotional, but wherever it's coming from, no, this is the movement, either splenic, emotional, or ego. No, I have the will to do this. I have the intuition. I have the feeling. I mean, there's still a strategy and authority aspect of what this is. And then when you go to make that push, man, it's like, you need to be, if you want anyone else in your life, you need to become, and many of them don't. Mm-hmm. Yeah, which is fine. Uh-huh. I mean, this is only if you want to communicate with other humans, And informing comes second, I mean, it's after the awareness is there. It's like, okay, the river has parted. You can do whatever the fuck you want, but I parted the river, okay? I mean, it's not, that's the end of your job, okay? You felt it, you had the will to do it, it was an intuition. No, the river's gonna part. And it's like, okay, the river is parted. I mean, it's like Ra. It's like, okay, here's the human design system. Good luck. And he dies. I mean, come on, really? And for whatever it's worth, those that were close to him that I know, because I wasn't, they said he was horrible at informing. Like, I mean, that he was like, that he, I mean, just because he didn't want to deal with the shit, dude. And I get it, man. I do. I get it. And look, that is his friends. Every single one of them that supposedly were his closest friends, I've heard that basic same thing from. And, but then I also remember by the time I, was, the little bit that I saw, I did see him saying, okay, this is what's going to happen next or whatever. But, fuck, he was figuring it out too, guys. I mean, that's the thing, guys. This is a figure it out for yourself. But you really only here to say the river's, I parted the river. Or it's more like the river's parting. Just letting you guys know the river's parting. Yes, I know it looks like I did it, and you can try to send me a check or whatever, but they're not doing it. If they're really being manifestors, they're just as helpless to whatever's happening. And in a way, I can see where that can be a burden. The same way the projector, and we all got our crosses to bear. So I mean, they're waiting till something must happen. I mean, essentially. And that doesn't mean they don't go about their lives. It's just, this new thing or busting a door through, however, I see it like they're almost like busting through to another levels. It's like, when we need it's like the battering ram, it's like, you come to a wall and, okay, we need a hole right here to keep going. And the manifestor comes and punches the hole through the wall, and the rest of us can then go through it. Like human design is a gateway. It's like this big wall, of what is the Maya and the human mind, and Ra comes and just busts a hole right through it. Now, he's not responsible for what happens next. I mean, he did his trip. It's the most I've ever talked about Ra. I'm going to try to stop now.
You're gonna try?
I'm gonna try to stop right in the middle of my human. I'm gonna try to try. And that's the other thing, guys, is at the end of the day, this gets so simple for all of us, man. Is like, can you just be relaxed in your fucking life? I mean, can you get to that place of you're just relaxed and okay being you and not thinking somebody else got a better deal or you got this raw deal or whatever. I mean, whatever. That it really is about loving what you are and accepting what you are and not going any further than that. I mean, it's like, but the manifestor typically doesn't see its impact. Like the projector, we get, like I was joking, it's like, I step into traffic. I'm aware of it real fucking there's only a half a second. Whoa, okay, no, but for the manifestor, I mean, they just knock people over. They have no idea. They're clueless. I have another friend in the island. Her dad was a manifestor, and he would just go down the aisles with his shopping cart, just pushing the other shopping carts out of the way, dude. Like it just, and dude, it's like, dude, someone's just gonna kill them. like even this person knows someday someone's just gonna kill their dad because he doesn't even have a clue that he's just pushing everyone out of the way everywhere he goes. That was one of my better manifestor stories. I mean, along with my other friend over there, there was like his whole family's like, they want to take a vacation, so they're waiting for him to make it happen or something. Like, dude, I mean, just how the human mind can take all of this, guys, and make it so stupid so quick. So, dude, are you at peace? Are you feeling good in your trip? Yes, if you're new and you got your demons, the deconditioning process, helping you find your frequency. I can help a manifestor do that. I can because I have. But I also see why it would be so strange for them to even ask for help to begin with. I mean, and that's not saying, I mean, I'm always honored that I get I get a few a year in readings and sessions and stuff, but I usually only get one or two a year in terms of like actually, an ongoing training. And that's not true. I mean, I probably get 10% or more manifestors. I mean, the one thing that I do have in common with them is we're not generators. I mean, that's the one thing, dude, we're not fucking generators. I mean, so we can sit and have discussions about that. But, like the projector's got to know what's going on over there before it can become aware. So does the manifestor. They got to see they got to, every time they're putting out ripples, they got to become aware of all that. And, and they're not here to care about other people. So it's, I get the stupidity of what this lecturer is saying. I'm not oblivious. Okay. Here's what I'm going to get onto them for live. Okay. I mean, this is with some of the bigger manifestors that I've known in just terms of like whether or not they were in human design or just people that really had been living it for a time being with or without this knowledge, that they were living what it looked to me like, wow, that's really, that looks like a healthy manifestor relationship with the world. But I think there is a part of them that wants to connect, and that they know that they give off this frequency of distrust, or other people, they don't know what it is. I mean, so it's like, they'll tell you it's okay to approach them. It's okay to call them. I mean, I've had pretty much all including Ra. I sat there and watched as people go towards them, and there's like sparks flying off each time. And then I asked him, "Is that okay for you?" And he was like, "Oh yeah, I've known these people for years." Blah 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 blah. And then it took me like another 5 years and some more interactions where I went, no, it's okay for you if people approach you. Like the manifestor, yeah, you don't care because you want people to come over and be nice to you because you feel isolated. But energetically, what it's doing to them, whether or not they're aware of it or not, And I mean, it's kind of like this bear. It's like, yeah, hey, come pet me. You know? I mean, maybe he'd be cool, or he or she would be cool. Um, but you know, I mean, it's a dangerous thing. So, especially when they've told me, you know, that it was okay to pet them, and it was. And I'm just using that. And I mean, dude, even an email, dude, I've had email thrown back in my face, and it's like, whoa, dude. Even when people have asked, and I'm like, wow, you know, I don't have an effective tool for the manifestor other than leave them alone. You know, let them come to you no matter what they're telling you. I mean, because you know, I'm just saying, like, I really have. I mean, as much as I can, I experiment. I don't trust any of it. I push the buttons. I kick the snakes. I punch the walls. I want to know how this works in my body with another human being. That's when it becomes real for me. And then I can tell stories like I'm doing. And it doesn't sound like I'm reading out of the book because I'm not. You know, it's a different trip. Yeah, and like I said, one of my one friend who does the flower essences in Kauai. I mean, he sits people down in the chair. He gets them all nice and relaxed. It's almost like I used to say it was like almost like watching someone tee up a golf ball. You know, he would be like, oh, what's going on? You know, he would seem kind of nice, right? And then he'd set him in the chair. Dude, I swear it was like he would just take a hammer and just go crack. Okay, now leave. And it was, you know, so they can pretend to be nice. So just be careful, you know. And these guys, like, you know, informing you know what's going to happen. It's like, okay, bear, have a nice trip, bear. And like I said, just because you let people know doesn't mean they're going to like it. But I can tell you that if you don't let them know, see, the manifestor deals with the repercussions later. It's like all of the other types, we meet the resistance right there, right then. You know, like I said, as a projector, if I even start to get out of my frequency, it's like, whoa, you know. I mean, and that's just body consciousness. I mean, that's what I'm trying to drill into all body consciousness. How does this work in your form? The manifestor doesn't meet that resistance. So, you know, you have all these mental manifestors just running around doing what they think, pushing people out of the way, telling people shit that's not true. I mean, because, dude, they have no connection to what is actually happening out there. They have to, like, see how many pens get knocked over before they even start to realize. I like to say it's almost like, you know, it's like they take off in a boat and then they stop. And it's like all that wake and those waves that they've made are going to catch up with them and build and crash on them. So, you know, these people look happy, you know, again, like, you know, okay, Mr. Bear. I'm sorry. Okay, Mr. Bear. Bye. You go ahead and do whatever you want, you know. But it doesn't mean that people are going to like it. But I will let you know, just straight on pure experience, it's way better to know than be told differently, no matter what anyone thinks might be better. You know, I just, you know, it's, you know, and you get a lot of open solar plex shit going on too. And informing is not telling. You know, just because you can start thinking, and this is another guy, a manifestor, who made it through half of a reading here in Sedona with me. He was from New York and some trust fund or a hedge fund operator or something, probably a trust fund kid. I don't fucking know. Anyway, you know, basically, you know, he bought some company here in Sedona, and he was a manifestor. And he's like, you know, comes to me to try to get me to explain to him, you know, I'm a manifestor. How do I get them to do what I want them to do? And I was like, dude, you bought the company. Get out of the fucking way, you know? I mean, that was what was correct, and that was the end of it. I mean, he just couldn't take that, you know? It would be the equivalent of somebody, you know, trying to move to Kauai. Actually, it's funny because there was a human design person that moved to Kauai that tried to pull the same kind of shit, you know? And dude, it's like people don't, I mean, I don't know about the rest of the world because I'm not, I stay away from it, you know, but these little places that I live, where there's not too many humans. They have their own culture. They have their own style. You're not going to drop in here and get people to do what you want, Manifestor or not. I mean, so I just think what a perfect training ground for both, you know, at least in my experience, both Kauai and Sedona is perfect for these people because, no, they're not going to do what you tell us to do. And yeah, you can buy the company, but man, if you want me to work for you, dude, you ask me to do something, then get the fuck out of my way. You know, I mean, once I'm asked to do that, you've asked a generator and they're involved. No, you can't be telling us. You know, I mean, I know it's unnatural. Did we miss the ask slide yet, or we haven't gotten there? If it includes us asked.
we haven't
gotten there yet. Okay, I want to make sure. Yeah, because dude, there's a big thing here, and I know it's a leap for you, man. It's like jumping the Grand fucking Canyon for you guys. I get it, okay? But again, if you want other humans in your life, it's only for that, you know. That you know, you can tell us what you're doing, but you need to ask us. You know, I mean, you can say this is what's happening, but not you need to do this or you should do that. I mean, dude, you're gonna meet a wall of fuck you won't even believe from me. I mean, I can't believe. I actually get upset that I get so upset. my mind gets upset that my body gets so upset. It's like, where's my tiger picture? That's how I feel. Yes, it's this slide. Yeah, guys, I know it must be horrible. I mean, I get it, dude. I mean, I'm a projector, so I understand what bitterness is, and I understand what not being recognized is. And I can't even wrap my head around what it must be like to have run the planet for 70,000 years and then to be excused from your post. I mean, I'd be pissed too, man. I mean, this is where I'm going to take your side. But guys, we are not your bitches. We're not. You know, you can inform whatever you're going to do. That's fine. You know, and people can like it or not, that's fine. But, you know, and I've had teachers, you know, the adamant, no, the Manifestor just tells what they just say and they tell. And I'm like, yeah, that's great. If you're a battle-hardened fucking human design warrior and you don't give a fuck, that's fine. But in the regular world, shit, man. I would learn to ask. I mean, you know, especially if you love someone or you know, that you care at all about them, you can inform them, look, I need to take a vacation. I'm going to go to Argentina or Guatemala or wherever. You notice that I always pick South America. So, I see my destiny. I mean, I'm going to get done with this year and disappear. You know, and I'm just letting you know that I just really need this vacation and I'm going to take it. If you're interested, you could let me know. Now, I know that last, if you're interested, you could let me know. I understand that's like jumping the Grand Canyon for you guys because it's not natural. It's not. You, for 70, maybe 90,000, we can argue about that. I mean, a long time, you got to just say, hey, get your ass back to work or build the fucking pyramid right here. I mean, this is what the Manifestor's hangover is. You know, just like everyone's hangover is trying to basically be Manifestors. And that's not the way it's working anymore. I mean, we are really differentiating this conversation. So, like, I understand your plight. and I admit I'd be pissed off too. But then also that you don't have the responsibility of running the fucking kingdom anymore. It's over, man. You can just do what you do and just keep going. It's like, I mean, I can also I can make the jump to the other side of that. And that's where I need to kind of redo some of my inner aura stuff because it's like I don't see a way around this one, man. I mean, there may be one or two humans on the planet that want Manifestors just to tell, but I don't know any normal humans. I mean, so it's pretty okay for me, but you know, whatever. But yeah, trying to tell me what to do. We'll see how that works out for you. And guys, I get it, dude. Informing seems scary because why? Because you guys have been controlled. People have tried to control you. Every time they're afraid. I mean, it feels scary because yeah, when you move, you're moving the whole pattern. You're moving all the other balls. But remember, you're just like the pool ball on the table. You hit a ball and then you get out of the way. You just let it go. So it may sound scary and that like other people are going to interfere. You're not asking fucking permission. You're not asking, is it okay if I take a vacation? You say, I need a vacation. I'm taking a vacation. Whatever. I'm going to, whatever. I mean, I know one manifestor that flat out said, look, I'm not your husband this weekend. Whoa, okay, well, I hope the reciprocating party feels the same. I mean, Jesus. But, I mean, at least it's better than lying. I mean, I mean, that's okay, and I know informing seems scary and that others will only interfere. But again, I'm going back to, guys, I've seen both. I've been told things that I didn't like to hear, and then I've not been told, by manifestors. And I can assure you, it's like the Band-Aid. It's way better to rip it off than to slowly peel it off. Because of whatever that seems scary to do for you guys. Yeah, so it's not necessary that. I mean, I'm not asking you to make nice or play nice. And you're certainly no one else's bitches. I'm not, I'm just, it was a joke, right? It's like, like I can have resonance with your dilemma. And informing is not just telling us what, I mean, I went through this last year with another manifestor. It was like, dude, I mean, for him, he would inform us about shit. I mean, it wasn't informing. It was like, I'm informing you, here's this stuff. And it's like, dude, no, that's not informing. You can tell us what you're going to do. And I think you guys would like this. No, actually, not very often. Anyway. But they also were living like an MG and being drugged around by, stronger entities. I mean, guys, I don't know how anybody gets out of not being totally alone in this experiment. I mean, I just don't see how you do it. I don't see how you maintain any sort of ongoing aura contact with anybody, sleeping or awake. It doesn't matter. And ever get your own trip. I mean, I just don't see how you'd sort it out. And remember, you don't need human design to get this. I mean, and this is where, like I said, I have several manifestors from one in LA. Well, several, two. Several. My one shamanic buddy in LA, and then my one shamanic buddy. There's a pattern in Kauai, and dude, they're just doing their own trip. They couldn't care less about human design or anything else. I mean, it might be interesting for the people around them, but I mean, they're doing their trip and they're doing it their way, and it's in different ways. I mean, even those people got judged the same way you got, the same way we've all been judged by other people in human design. I'm like, guys, I don't know. Maybe we put the book down for a second and step back and actually watch the humans. Mm-hmm. I'm just recommending that, rather than try to say this is how it works, that we actually, and maybe this is very much just a projected thing. But the thing that I have in common with the manifestors, no, we have to see over there how it works. And yeah, your data feedback, your data feed isn't nearly as fast as mine. I get it. You don't find out till later. I get it. So it's going to take you longer to understand that. That really how many people are being impacted or what's being impacted. I liked when Rob was saying something about he was going to have to take out an ad in the LA Times or the New York Times or something. I'm no longer traveling or something. It was some old story on it. I only really like his older stuff, to be honest. And then the question about manifestor children. I mean, guys, just basic good manners for manifestor. I'd like to go outside. Is that okay, mommy? Or can I go out that door? I mean, that's enough. I'd like to go out that door. Let me out that door. That really, kind of just this asking permission. It's a way of informing. I mean, you can't just leave the doors unlocked and with a 3-year-old and on a busy street. I mean, I get that, but to try to allow them. I mean, even think of a manifestor put in a crib, a generator too. But I mean, anyone. I mean, all of a sudden you've imprisoned them. Now look, I know at a certain stage there's no, it's what's safe for the child. But unless something is so obviously really bad for the kid, that you do your best to help empower them early on, so that they're not afraid of going, this is what I'd like to do. I'd like to do that, and that only when it's really, really, can I go smoke crack with my friends? Well, no, okay, you can't. But but up to that point, to let them do as much as you can, because you don't want to strip. This information is for children. Everybody wants to, I mean, we have all these adults struggling, that's great, and and it's going to take that. But I mean, really, if you can just give a manifestor child this much. And I got one friend. He's got a generator. He's got an MG. He's got a projector, and he's got a manifestor. And he's not into human design at all. He's my last remaining kind of real estate friend, and we don't even barely talk about every couple of years or something. And he's like, John, you are the only person that has ever been able to explain why my kids are so fucking different. I mean, they're not even. It's like they came from different parents. I mean, and you look at them lined up in a picture. I used to get Christmas cards, and you would see that they totally. I mean, it's like, yeah, they're related, but wow, are they different? I used to have until the picture faded so much, I had it on my refrigerator. It was like, the 3 kids lined up, and what a mess for these parents that are, very much, Southern California entrepreneur. Let's make something of our lives, people, and that's their lives. I mean, in all fairness, it looks like a pretty healthy trip, and it's obviously his. But that's the other thing, guys. Unless someone's coming for human design, you guys know not to mess with them, right? Oh, we're on the Manifestor lecture. We're almost there. This is the home stretch. I knew there were 3 too many slides in here. Dude, just like generators, or just like projectors, or any non-sacral being, guys, you got to go to bed before you're tired and try to sleep alone. Man. I mean, if you can't sleep alone, who could ever possibly sleep alone? You can just get the hell out of my room. That's informing. They may not like it. But, watch them when they get around generators and stuff. I mean, it's just like anybody that's not really centered in their body. Even earlier this week, when I was really not feeling good, once or twice I got around some people with a lot of motors, and like for 3 minutes I felt good. I'm like, oh, maybe I'm feeling better. As soon as I left, oh, that wasn't me. I mean, it was a really obvious thing. So something you may want to really look at, especially when you're not feeling well and you're down, is to really that's a good time to really go in and tune into that energetic stuff. I mean, it was just, I already know that happens, but it was just such a wow. It was good data for my body. Guys, please figure this out for yourself. You're impacting all the time. What are you impacting? How are you impacting? Who are you impacting? You're not impacting. Okay? I'm not absorbing. And I am watching. Which is apparently not very popular either. Wait, he's paying attention. Silence him. Follow no one. Ask no one. I mean, guys, this is true for all of us, but it's especially true for the man. I mean, follow no one. As you're self-empowered in a way that no other type is. Your strategy to get through this life is simply political. It's just so people will leave you the fuck alone. and not interfere with your trip. And and that might look not nice. Dude, you want to know not nice? Come, I'll forward you my inbox. I mean, nice has no place here. I mean, I love that quote. Well, the one that I got yesterday, but I can't remember the other one. It's like, you know, you know, the only problem with this is, the only way to sell this is to repackage it in a way that looks like it could be achieved easily by a consumer. I mean, that's the only way you could sell human design, is you got to repackage this in such a way that it looks like it's easily digestible to a consumer, so you can sell it. That's not going on here, man. I'm the follow no one, ask no one, take no prisoners, teacher and guide, and I'm only looking for people that are interested in that sort of a trip, and I would see these manifestors re-empowered. I would see their spark ignited. I would have them have their trip, even if they don't like me. I get it. That's why I don't have any attachment to that, But I mean, we each have this life, and it's such a blip in the sand. I mean, it's a piece of sand on the beach. I mean, it's so, in one sense, it's so meaningless. This blip that we are, and we make it so important. But while you're in the blip, man, you might as well enjoy the blip, huh? And there's only one way. It's going to be doing your own trip. And there you are with your little, whoever wanted to be the elven princess at the beginning. Absolutely, this, elven princess, gladiator, self-empowered, don't mess with me, I'm in my field. I mean, the true, whatever, high priestess, warrior-esque, powerful, what is the quote from... women of my country learned long ago. Those with women of this country learned long ago. Those without swords can still die upon them. I fear neither pain nor death. What I fear is life in a cage, where old age and unuse make valor and courage beyond recall or even possibility. Now I messed that up a bit, but. But no, the women of this country learned long ago, those without swords can still die on them. I fear neither pain nor death. You got that spirit, you're in the right place, guys. All right. I think that's good for our lecture. And we'll see what happens next.